Hello, this is Heidi and welcome back to the channel. Here at Happy Scribblez, we are doing another weekly spread in my bullet journal. We are following our theme of birds, and without further ado, let's get started. Today, I wasn't necessarily running short on time, but I wanted to invest the time that I did have in the artwork that I was going to do. So I used this printable that I got, which I can link down below for free off of the internet, and I printed it out for my daily spaces. It comes with a little to-do list at the bottom of each space and a side section for notes. It's very convenient and it really helped me cut down on how long it took me to do this. Although I'm not saying that this was a really fast spread because I did do art. But if I had chosen to go with something like stickers or just washi tape for decoration, using this printable really would have made it take only maybe 10 or 15 minutes to do the setup. It cut down on the time by a lot. And I thought that the pastel colors matched with what I was going to do for the art. So with our daily spaces in place and stick glued down, I got an extra page out of the back of this bullet journal and I folded it so that it will make a flap that will go over this first cover page. And then I took that once it was bent where I wanted it to bend, and I went ahead and taped it down onto this little board, and I got ready to do my little birdies. Okay, so while you watch me do the sketch, let me introduce you to these two birds. This is Sharkey and Peri. They are YouTube birds. Their owner, Moonpetal, has a channel. You can find her down in the description below, but even if you just look for @Moonpetal, you will find her channel. She shares her little birds sometimes on her channel. Her main thing is an artist. She's a really good artist, and I love watching the things that she creates. And so when my daughter heard that I was going to be doing birds for this quarter's theme, she asked me to please feature Moonpetal's birds. She calls them burbs. And so here they are. This is Sharkey and Peri burbs. And I just drew them sitting on a stick next to each other. And I used watercolor pencils, but I didn't apply any water. I just did them as good old colored pencils, and I like how it turned out. So I drew in their names at the bottom, and then with the same colored pencils, I kind of did a shadow of their colors behind their own names. And there it is, our artwork is done. Oops, I almost forgot the eye highlights. If you don't do this, it doesn't really pop. This just brings it all to life. So I added in those little eye highlights, and then it was done. And here I am applying some double-sided tape to the back of that paper, and then I am carefully positioning it before I press it down and putting it in place as like a little cover flap on my main spread. And the cool part is that the back of it serves as a place for my habit trackers, a sleep tracker, and my gratitudes for the week. So here I quickly made my little chart for my habit trackers, and I filled them in using the colored pencils just to highlight each line so that I can try not to make any mistakes and fill in anything in the wrong place. And then my sleep tracker. I am using my 005 micro liner because I want it to stay light and I don't want any heavy lines on this layout. And so that one also just makes it easier when you're doing all these itty bitty little numbers. And then I use the colored pencils to color in or kind of block in the nighttime hours in blue and the daytime hours in yellow. And then I wrote down attitude of gratitude for my one line for each gratitude of the week. And I wrote the days of the week, and that was done. Now at this point, this is functional and this spread is done, but it felt empty over to the right, and so I decided to add in another art feature over there. I decided to go for a big dramatic feather in Sharkey and Peri's colors. that kind of swoops over and fills up that empty space a bit, and looks like it's kind of being blown in the wind, and like it's quite fluffy and feathery and not like so stiff, you know, like very pretty, pleasant feather. So I just did this all with colored pencils once again, and I just did different little tendrils with the different colors, really pressing down and getting like a deep saturated look to some of them, and then the other ones were just lighter and softer to kind of fill in, and I think it turned out pretty cute. I know that I love looking at it, so that was the whole point. And then before I knew it, it was finished. And I just had one empty space up above there to put in a quote or something from the Bible like I usually do. So I opened up my Bible and I decided to go for a part of a verse, which is from Matthew 6:26, which I just wrote down, "Observe the birds of the heaven." I thought it was a nice one, very simple. And I personally love watching birds. I think that they're just so cool and crazy also when you really get to know how complex they are and all the different kinds that there are. They're just amazing. But anyways, this completed my spread for the week. So there are our daily habits, our sleep tracker, our attitude of gratitude lines, our quote, our daily spaces with to-do spaces down below, and a timeline type of thing for each day, and then our notes column all the way over to the right, and our art to make it special and pretty. I want to thank Moon Petal for sharing her cute, adorable little birds, and also just for inspiring us every time that we see her beautiful art. Well, I thank you all for watching, and I hope that you come back for the upcoming videos of a couple more birds that I'm going to squeeze into this bullet journal. I'm really excited for some upcoming ones. So once again, thanks for watching, and we will see you all again very soon. Remember, stay happy and thankful.